ASAL conference is happening. That's the Arid and Semi-Arid Areas Conference. Let's listen in to what Deputy President William Ruto is saying at that particular conference.
Yes, very able CS Eugene Wamalwa has said that 700 delegates were invited. I don't know whether fortunately or unfortunately 1,000 came. I don't know exactly whether that's a good thing, because in this era of managing our resources well, I don't know how we ended up with an extra 300 people and who is going to pay for them. So the second item I want to address myself to, I heard the leader of majority, Aden Duale, say that he appreciates what was said by our brother Jefferson Kingi. And he alluded to the fact that he cannot say it because he's a leader of majority, suggesting that as leader of majority, he has been gagged from speaking the truth. It is important that I set the record straight, that we haven't gagged anybody from speaking the truth, however difficult that truth may be. And lastly, to appreciate and thank my friend from Lodwar, who sang a wonderful song. And I agree that when we went for Tobong Lore, he made a serious pitch for national unity. And he made his song that Turkana is Kenya is a very appropriate song also in this forum, I guess, so that we can remind ourselves also that Pwani is Kenya. I hope he made that. Having said that, in our midst we have CSS and PSS. Maybe I'll just ask them to stand up so that we can recognize. We have the CS for water, Mr. Chelugui. We have Mr. Desai, our PS for TVET. We have Sumkuli, our PS for environment. For devolution, sorry, he changed offices. We have Powon, our CS for ASAL areas. And we have CAS, Mr. Dado. And then, of course, Eugene Wamalwa. Oh, yeah, and we have PS Sigor, the PS for irrigation. And we have our CAS Kachapin for matters energy. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, we have CAS, our good friend from environment. Thank you very much. Oh, and Madam Guchu, our CAS for water. Please, a round of applause for that lady. Today we converge, ladies and gentlemen, here for what is, in my view, one of the most important socio-economic conversations of our times in our country. We have gathered here in pursuit of a fuller and more inclusive economy and shared prosperity. What we discuss here, what we conceptualize here, and what we act upon from this conference will shape the future of not just the ASAL areas, but the future of our country. We are here because we all know that arid and semi-arid areas have serious economic potential, and if unlocked, can change millions of lives, lift up communities, and secure prosperity for many generations. This platform presents a new beginning, a fresh focus, and a strong and unwavering will to create a new socio-economic narrative for arid and semi-arid lands. And when we talk about this narrative, we have the singular opportunity to change the narrative of our marginalized of our arid and semi-arid areas from that of marginalization to opportunity and potential. We are living with the reality of a changing climate, but we are also living with the most technologically advanced age in human history and the most progressive era of Kenyan governance, meaning if we are committed and if we are diligent, we can create a new economic dawn for our arid and semi-arid areas. There are 29 counties represented in this forum. Your challenges may be similar, but your opportunities are vast and diverse. This forum, the chance to explore how to maximize on our opportunities is available, while we have the opportunity also to minimize or eliminate challenges associated with ASAL areas. The Constitution has guaranteed funds for devolution and equalization, but the truth is the task requires more than money. It also requires transformative policy thinking, a common purpose, and an urgent pragmatic action. My primary message to you is that the national government is committed to the socio-economic transformation of arid and semi-arid areas, and we have already made the first move. We have put in place a detailed policy, legal, and institutional framework to accelerate development in arid and semi-arid areas. The State Department of Arid and Semi-Arid Areas is evidence of this commitment. Arid and semi-arid areas are essential to national strategic goals, and by creating a designated State Department for ASALs, we aim to make it easier to coordinate and execute development programs for arid and semi-arid areas spanning diverse sectors such as food security and nutrition, resilience building, and poverty reduction. Urgent action is important to achieve what we want for arid and semi-arid areas, and suffice it to say several programs and activities geared towards driving this agenda forward are being implemented. Over the last 5 years, the government has committed increasingly the share of devolved resources to counties year on year. Similarly, or simultaneously, funding to the 27 ASAL counties increased from 114 billion in 2013 to Kenya shillings 185 billion last year. This makes arid and semi-arid areas the counties the biggest beneficiaries of revenue allocations, standing at the moment at 60%. Article 203 of the Constitution provides for equalization fund derived from audited government revenues to go to 14 ASAL counties. Since then, Kenya shillings 12.4 billion has been deposited in that kitty. During the financial year 2018-19, 4.7 billion was allocated to this fund. This is just in our current budget. I further want to note that following the review of the marginalization policy by the Commission on Revenue Allocation, a total of 34 counties, including 29 ASAL counties, will benefit from the fund for the next 3 years. I have heard about the debate. I have listened very carefully. And I want to ask those who have opinions on this subject to engage the Commission on Revenue Allocation. It is a Kenyan commission. It is run by Kenyans, and they understand all our languages. Let's engage them. They are a commission, and I am sure they are willing to take on board suggestions that come from different actors and different stakeholders. As government, we will make the resources available, and the framework to agree on how these resources will be utilized will be subjected as usual to the constitutional parameters of public participation, using the right institutions. I do not think it is necessary for anybody to go to court. I think these are issues we can solve by engaging in constructive conversation that will help us unlock whatever it is that we want from the Equalization Fund. We encourage counties to continue dialogue with the Commission to ensure that the Equalization Fund is implemented as envisaged in the Constitution.